Hi, everybody. Thank you, and nice mixing on that sound. That was great. That was great. Yay. So happy, snow, ice, cold, what's going on? Oh my God, they talked about single digits. I'm so proud that you showed up today, and I love being able to come to this center. I've been to a lot of different centers, and I admit I'm a little biased, but I think that this center has something special. I think that we are clean and clear, that the words to the songs reflect what we teach, that the conversations in the community are in alignment with who we believe we are, that God is all that there is, and that there's a power and a presence within us. And I think that we lift each other up that way. How many of you were here last Sunday? Last Sunday, wonderful. We did the 24-year anniversary, and we had a bunch of slideshows about the very first day, and you got to see all of the John and Barbara images of through the last 25 years, and we talked about the people and the experiences and the building and the dirt and the concrete and all of that. And after it was over, I had a number of people during the week look at me and say, "Thank you for saving my life." I got to tell you, that is so tempting. It is just so tempting to want to go, "Oh, well, you're welcome. I have the power of your life. And yes, I benevolently gave it to you, and you will be eternally indebted to me." I was in bed most of the week, and I had a chance to think about this a little bit, because there's an element of truth to that. In that I feel very grateful to the teachers in my life, to my religious science teacher, Bill Tolliver, to my Native American teacher, Will Rocking Bear, my prosperity teacher, Edwin Gaines, and all of the other teachers in my life. If they hadn't offered me the teaching, I'm not sure I would have found it without them. But I had to pick it up and run with it. And so there's an element of truth to that, in that when we come together and we open up the doors on Sunday morning and for classes, then we're playing our part in offering a complete life transformation for someone. But I'm also reminded that in the last 25 years of Center for Creative Living, Center for Spiritual Living Asheville, tens of thousands of people have come through our doors. Not just hundreds of people, not just thousands of people. I don't think we've hit 100,000 people, because there's only 80,000 people in Asheville. But we have had tens of thousands of people come through our doors, whether the doors were to our living room, to the first trailer center, whatever it was, a Lego set, sometimes I think about it, or to this center. And when we show up, we have started the ball in motion. You know, they say that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When we show up and we're ready, then something happens to give us the tools if we choose to take it. So when people look at me and say, you saved my life, this teaching saved my life, I think back between this center and Miami, and between the website and when I was in media in Miami on TV and radio, all of the people that I have offered my teachings to. And you know, you're the one that has to pick it up and run with it. You're the one that has to decide to save yourself, because we don't believe that you're lost. We don't teach that we have a Savior that's going to swoop down and keep us from ourselves, going to intervene on our own behalf so that we can keep doing the dumb stuff that we used to do, only now we won't have those consequences anymore. We don't believe that. We don't believe that you're broken. We don't believe that you need to be fixed, or that there's anything wrong with you at all. And so if you're going to have a life transformation, you're the one that's going to do it. I certainly am the one that had to do it for me. But there is some kind of a connection that we have. because somehow my willingness to transform my life from the child that I was, from the teenager that I was, from the young adult that I was, food stamps, welfare, giving plasma twice a week to try to have enough money to feed my 3-year-old child, to the woman that I am today, I have that to be able to say, oh, what's your problem? You got no problems here. You got it easy. You mean all you're worried about is money? Money's easy. All you're worried about is a diagnosis? Diagnoses change all the time. All you're worried about is a broken heart? Hearts were meant to heal. You've got it easy. I know you can change because I changed. And I love this idea that we are living successfully. I'm in the part of the textbook with my Monday night class where we're venturing into principles of successful living and then the law of attraction and then mental equivalence. And I love this part of the textbook because for me, that's the part that says, absolutely, you can do it, and this is how you can do it. You are the only one that can do it. No one can do it for you. No one can stop you from doing it. No one can give it to you, and no one can take it away from you. You have all the power. And being a little bit of a power junkie, I'll use that nicer word than what I was going to say, I like the idea that I'm in control of my experience and that I have the wherewithal to manifest my life in the way that I want to have it happen, or I have the wherewithal to get rid of the things that I've manifested up until now. No one can tell me no. I like that. No one can tell me no. I can tell myself no, but no one else can tell me no, and I can tell myself yes for anything that I want. And yet, Ernest says right in the beginning of this chapter in the textbook that science of mind is not a get-rich-quick scheme. Darn. You know, a lot of people think it's a get-rich-quick scheme. A lot of people think that this is the place that you go when you need money. And I can teach you how to create money. But the only way you will become rich is if you do the work inside of yourself to change the cause and change the effect of your life. If you can discipline the cause, you can discipline the effect. Listen to that. If you can discipline the cause, you can discipline the effect. So if you feel like your effects are out of control, that things are just flying into your life and happening to you, you can bring them into a disciplined process of feeling good, having things work out, only good can come from this, that kind of experience, instead of having all of this other wild stuff. If you've got wild experiences in your life, you've got wild thoughts in your head. And so we go back to ourselves and think the thoughts we want to think to have the life we want to have. It's not a scheme. We don't have schemes here. That's one reason this is a no-sale zone. We do not have multi-level marketing schemes running through the community. We don't have, this is your new get-rich-quick stock or product or whatever, because none of that is ever going to work. Nothing on the outside is ever going to work until the consciousness is changed within. And so if we are willing to do the work that is ours to do, we can create anything that we want. And I remember when I was 24 years old in Eugene, Oregon, and I heard Bill Tolliver tell me from the lectern that I can have anything that I want, I started paying attention. Because at that moment, I had nothing that I wanted. I was sleeping on someone's floor. I had no place to live. I had gone through all of my money that I brought out to the West Coast. In 2 weeks, I got rid of every penny. Isn't that amazing? The amazing ability that I, Barbara Waterhouse, have to create my experience. So I listened. How can I have whatever I want? Well, if you want to have more in your life, you must first become more in your life. And so I was in, how do I become more? Can I go buy more at the 7-Eleven? Can I order it from, well, they didn't have Amazon, they didn't have the internet back then. Can I order it from someone from the Sears catalog? How do I get more? How do I become more inside of myself? And so I started working on it. One of the things I learned was that if I wanted to have more of value in my life, if I wanted to have a car, if I wanted to have a job, if I wanted to have a place to live, these were pretty important things, then I had to first have more value inside of me. And so I would look inside of myself and go, well, I don't have any value in here. This child that grew up in the circumstances that I grew up in, I didn't have any value. I didn't have any worth. I didn't have any specialness inside of myself. So I had nothing of value in my life, nothing of worth, and nothing that was special. And so I started to look at that, this idea that whatever God is all that there is an infinite, absolute presence and power manifesting itself in and through all things, all people, not just everybody except for Barbara, but all people, that there has to be the same specialness in the sunrise that's in me. There has to be the same amazingness of the cosmos in me. That as high as someone has moved in their life, that has to be in me. The smartest, the most creative, the most beautiful, the most passionate. You know, when I started this journey, I couldn't speak. I had to teach myself to speak out loud. I was a mouse. I was invisible. You'd come into a room, you never saw me. I laid in bed for probably a year and read Science of Mind books out loud so that I wouldn't scare myself by the sound of my voice. I had to teach myself that there is something special inside of me, that there is something amazing inside of me. And I think that that's one of the reasons that people who come to this center find that amazing something inside of them. Rocking Bear used to say, all I do is hold up a mirror and a light. And so whatever people would say they saw in him, oh, Rocking Bear, you're such a wonderful magician. You're such an amazing shaman. You can travel to other universes and do all of this amazing shaman stuff. And he said, just a mirror and a light, meaning that is what you are. That if you see that, he's saying, Rocking Bear's saying, if you see that in me, it's because that's what you are. And so in this teaching, what we can do for each other is hold up the mirror and the light. And I personally can say, I did this. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt you can do this. I did this when the deck was completely stacked against me. Of course, you can do this. Look at all the help you've got. Look at all the support you've got. Look at all the love you've got. Look at all the joy you've got. It's not a scheme, though. I think that Science of Mind asks more of us than anything else we will become involved in our lives, because it asks us to completely step away from that which no longer works, to turn away from the condition, to stop talking about what we don't want to have in life, to stop worrying about it, to stop thinking about it, to stop obsessing about it, to stop and to only put our energy in that which we want to have, the life that we want to have. And I get a lot of pushback on it. Sometimes people say, well, that's unreasonable. I don't know. I think being miserable is unreasonable, and being happy is pretty reasonable. Well, I have a right to my feelings. Of course you have a right to your feelings, and you have a right to poverty and illness and miserableness. You have a right to those things. But I will guarantee you that if you can discipline the cause, you will discipline the effect. That if you can get a hold of yourself and stop thinking about what you don't want and focus on what you do want, that you will create anything in your life, anything in your life. There is no limit to principle. There is only the limit that we place upon it. There's only the limit that I say, well, that's as far as I can go. You know, I've been in this teaching 40 years, and I've got this amazing center, and we're on 5.5 acres in West Asheville, and we're just doing great. That's as far as I can go. That limit is in me, and I don't plan on keeping that. There is no limit to what we can have, to what we can do, and to who we can be. There's no limit other than the limit we place upon it. And so it is our job to take a fearless moral inventory and to let go of all of the limitations that we have put on ourselves. Because what do we want with limitation? I think that one of the things about this teaching that is most dear to me is the way it puts us in a position to accept the love that we are. We sing every Sunday, there is only love, la 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 la. And then most of us have some kind of a line as to how far we will let ourselves be loved, how much good we can accept, how much we can be given, how much we can be open and accept the love. You know, people come in here for the first time, they think we're nuts. They do, they think they're nuts. They think that somehow we've passed out some kind of Kool-Aid to everyone and that we're all on a happiness buzz and that this is just not the way life is. But you know, it's the way our life is. And as we can look inside of ourselves and see the value, see that spark of divinity, see that perfect, whole, and complete being, no matter what we have done. I want to give everybody a pass. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what you've done. It's still all God. You've never hurt anyone, and no one has ever hurt you. We are all on our path, walking into the full realization of Spirit as us. So if you've got any idea that says, well, if they only knew, there's only one mind. Everybody does know. Whatever you think you're hiding in your closet, everybody already knows. And you know, nobody cares. Nobody cares, really. You've never done anything wrong. You're perfect, whole, and complete. There is a light within you that outshines all darkness, that already, just because you're here, there is that within you that knows the answer to every question, has the solution to every problem, and can triumph over any and all obstacles. That is who you are. And we come together at this center and we support each other in living that life. And we don't have a lot of tolerance for people to come in their upset and their anger and their criticism. And I mean, we'll give people a little space and, you know, tell me more and how can I help you with that? But if somebody doesn't want to get off it, they're not going to be happy here. They're not going to be comfortable here. We've been looking at our demographics and our numbers and all of that, and we'll go through that at the membership meeting. But a lot of people have come through these doors over the last year. Just in the last year, a lot of people have come in. Some of them have stayed, but not a lot. Most have chosen not to be a part of that. And I don't want to set that in stone now and breathe life into it, that people come and they don't stay. But I think that we are not the typical experience of life in Asheville. I don't think that we hold the bar that says life is hard and it's going to be a struggle, and you know the apartments are limited and you're only going to make a certain amount of money, and you know you just have to tough it out because it's a beautiful place to live. We don't do that. We say there's a power and a presence within you that can lift you above any circumstance, that has the answer to every question, the solution to every problem. Money can fall down from the sky. If you have physical issues, they can heal just like that. You can find your true love because your true love is in you. You never lost it. It's always there. And so I love this teaching because it allowed me to rise out of poverty that was the poverty of probably lifetimes. For sure, it was the poverty of one lifetime. My guess is in order to choose that family to incarnate into, I had to have a poverty consciousness going in. So I'll carry it through other lifetimes. This teaching allowed me to rise up and find my strength, to find out who I am. All you have to do is know who you are. And all of that is inside of you. Because we don't have to go find it. We don't have to barter our soul. We don't have to worry that somehow we're going to be punished forever with eternal hellfire. We don't have to worry about that. All we have to do is find who we are. Carl Rogers said, who you are is good enough if you would only be it openly. Be it openly. Who you are is God itself. You are God. You have all of the power of creation at your fingertips. You have all that is right here. You're connected with everybody, with everywhere, with every experience, every idea, every invention. It's all inside of you now. You have that. You have it right now. Be it. Speak it. See it. Live it. Watch it come into form. Bring life into those thoughts. And let all the other stuff go. I mean, the appearance is that they did that to you. Okay. The appearance is that you did that to somebody else. Okay. Let it go. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. What matters is, what level is your joy? What matters is, what level is your enthusiasm with life? If you don't have money in your pocket, it's because you don't have value in your soul. If your experiences are not working out, it's because you are not disciplining your thought. To use this teaching, to stay focused, to stay clear, you can create anything that you want. I don't care if you're on your last breath. I don't care if you've been bankrupt 100 times. I don't care if people are talking smack about you. I don't care. It's all about us. Personally, I'm very grateful to be able to have this time with this teaching. Whenever I smudge on Sunday mornings, I always smudge the altar and I smudge the teaching symbol. And I'm grateful for this teaching that allows us to be powerful, that allows us to stand tall, and that allows us to make a difference in our lives and in our world. This is not idle stuff that we do. It's not nothing. It quite is something. And so, this is my first real talk of 2019. Pick it up and run with it. Go for it. Don't let anybody try to keep you down. Don't let any of the voices from your past tell you that you do not have what it takes to be the next Gandhi, the next Christ, the next Buddha, the next Martin Luther King, the next Steve Jobs, the next Barbara Waterhouse. It's easy for me to believe in you. I can believe in you because when I look at you, you hold up a mirror and a light. And I learned a long time ago to believe in me. So it's easy for me to believe in you because I believe in me. And I know what I've done with this teaching. And when I look at you, I know that there is no limit, that everything is possible. And so it is.
Oh, good teacher of truth. That's the woman I fell in love with. Pretty good, huh? If you're here for the first time, we want to say hi. As we said, we're not going to have much time afterwards, but we'd love to say hi now. Who's here for the first time? Would you just raise your hand so we can say hi? Welcome. We're delighted that you're here. What's your name? Cynthia, thank you so much for joining us today. That's delightful. Anyone else here for the first time? Well, Cynthia, we're glad you're here. We do have a gift for you out on our website. So, well, what did I say? Our website? I did. Our Welcome Center both start with W, so I can do better than that. So is my last name. I didn't say go out to the Waterhouse. I'm glad you're here. Come again. Thank you. Let's have our prosperity acceptors come forward. We'll take these checks that have come in the mail. And we'll bless the gifts that come to us today. So take what you're going to give, hold it in your hands, maybe close to your heart. And know with me that the presence and the power of the one is right here, right now. It has always been here, always will be, wherever we are, whatever we do. That divine presence is the essence of who we are. It's also our money, all that flows through us, dynamically, beautifully, excitingly. It's all God. So we take some of that now, and we give it to this center with our gratitude, with our love, knowing that Only good can come to us as we do this work, as this center takes these gifts and does good work, because that's who we are and that's what we do. So we let that be so right here, right now, and forevermore, as we repeat these words together aloud. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses the world. And so it is.